This is the problem with this, okay? Let's pause for just a second and remember the horrific abuse suffered by Jamie Marchi at the hands of Vic Mignogna, because what they're trying to do is make Jamie Marchi into the victim of sexual assault. What they're trying to do is equate Jamie Marchi to a woman who is trapped in a relationship that is abusive and rapacious, so that she has to face abuse at the hands of a potentially violent and domineering abuser every day. They're trying to equate Jamie Marchi with that person.
So it would appear that Vic Mignogna has retained co-counsel in the case against Monica and Ronald Toye, in further having to aid him in litigation, as this new co-counsel representative is a specialist in LLC contracts and specifically tortious interference, which means that Ronald Toye specifically, along with Monica, are royally screwed in further having to interfere in Vic's contractual obligations to fulfill those obligations by attending said conventions. As here today we're going to be taking a look at many different things, including the new documents provided earlier today, and also having to take a look at how members of the KickVic movement are not only further blaming Vic and mocking him for actually bringing in co-counsel, but also further having to target Chuck Huber and even Stephanie Nadolny in potentially coming out against Chris Sabat. As once more, before we begin, if you are new to this channel and want to be kept up to date with all things involving Vic Mignogna, Monica Rial, Ron Toye, and many of the news and updates involving the Vic Mignogna case, then be sure to go on ahead and smash that subscribe button and turn on all notifications by clicking on the bell icon to never miss a single upload. Be sure to go on ahead and slap a like down below by giving this video a big thumbs up if you guys do stand with Vic, as well as making sure to check out and subscribe to my main channel over at UnrealNetwork, to where there you guys will be able to find lots of anime and Dragon Ball content that you guys will not get to find on here. And follow me at Twitter at UnrealNetwork to stay connected with me at all times. And if you have anything you would like to share or tag me in involving Vic Mignogna or any of the parties involved in this case, then be sure to go on ahead and follow me at Twitter. Now, to further kick things off, I do want to go on ahead and formally apologize for the comments made towards Ty, as I did state on one of my videos that I felt that Ty was very incompetent on filing both of the affidavits submitted by Chuck Huber and Chris Latosh, which were very vital to Vic's case, as I was unaware that those same affidavits could be used in the case later on, being the fact that if the judge were to grant permission and approval for those affidavits to be reinstated, then the case in and of itself has a silver bullet in the fact that Chris Latosh and Chuck Huber have so much information in their affidavits that not only support tortious interference, but also having to see firsthand how someone like Chris Sabat had operated for decades in not only slandering Vic behind his back to his own friends, but also going as far as to try to ruin his career for whatever god reason. So just to clear the air with you guys, I do want to go on ahead and put that on the record, as of course it was tough love, but also I was really upset in seeing the fact that this wasn't able to be used at the time, or at least can be saved for a later date. But I felt strongly on that because if anything, both affidavits prove every single one of Vic's points when he pointed out that not only Funimation is a cesspool of absolute liars and snakes, and I can't seem to fathom as to why, because a lot of people are asking that very question. Why? Why is Chris Sabat acting this way towards his colleagues, specifically Vic Mignogna, in having to talk bad about him to his friends, to other co-workers and whatnot? So it just really didn't make any sense. And another person that was being targeted allegedly for having rumors come out that she was about to come out and tell her story was Stephanie Nadolny, as Therese took it upon herself to go on Twitter as she went along to comment, and I quote, "Apparently Nadolny was hacked. She hasn't deleted the tweet she's made though, and the likes are still there. If she has a story to tell, she should feel safe to tell it. Her past was relevant to rumors of why she was recasted, but that's all out there." So Therese is trying to insinuate that the only reason why Stephanie Nadolny was released and recasted for a different person having to take her role was because Therese was only passing this idea down that she was some sort of a drunk, that she was a criminal, and Stephanie actually has an entirely different story. Now, we don't know when Stephanie is going to come out, and if anybody knows anything about Sabat or what's going on behind the doors of Funimation, it's not me, it's not you, it's people like Chuck Huber, it's people like Stephanie Nadolny. So once Stephanie does feel comfortable enough to tell her story, you guys are going to see firsthand the experience that she's had with Chris Sabat. We've gotten already Chuck Huber's point of view as to how he felt around Sabat and what he's seen, but now it's time for Nadolny to come out. But they're shaming her, they're literally shaming her on Twitter, and if you search up her name, there are people within KickVic that are automatically dismissing her story because she's a quote drunk, and that is beyond messed up. Because why is it that we should listen to Monica's story, Jamie's story, stupid Jesse Pridemore's story, but when it comes to other people, right, that are on the other side of the fence, such as Stephanie Nadolny, Chuck Huber, oh, they're simply trying to avoid taxes, oh, they're simply drunks. You guys can go look this up yourselves. I've proven this time and time and time again by showing you guys irrefutable factual evidence on screen that every single time something goes against their favor, they immediately try to dismiss it, but they want to force you to believe Monica and Ron and Jamie and everyone's story when of course it simply favors them. However, earlier today, it would appear that Vic had also retained a co-counsel to aid Toye, as of course now Vic Mignogna had hired a additional lawyer to help him, and this individual that goes by the name of Lee Soo, I do believe I am butchering the name, but this is supposed to be someone that specializes and is an expert in tortious interference and mainly contracts. So this is interesting, and people within the KickVic community are already calling out Vic Mignogna for saying that he fired Toye. On the record, Vic has not fired Toye, right? Toye didn't do anything wrong other than simply having to miss a small deadline to file something, right? A small marginal error, but by no means does that mean that Vic fired Toye, but instead hired Lee as a co-counsel representative. So that's a good thing, and people within KickVic are already saying that Vic Mignogna is desperate and he knows how much Toye messed up. Far from it, actually. Ironically enough, it's okay for Monica and Ron to hire Jay Sean and many others long after the case had started, but it's not okay for Vic to bring in any sort of co-counsel. Do you see how this works here? But this is a good thing because this individual is supposed to be very knowledgeable in contracts and LLCs, so that's a very good thing when it comes down to tortious interference, especially with what was listed from Christopher Slatosh's affidavit in everything that Ron Toye was doing to try to prevent Vic from attending conventions, specifically KamehaCon. You guys have seen it on the record. Ron Toye was offering Chris Slatosh sponsorship money, he was threatening him, so that's not only bribery, but that's also blackmail at the same time. So this dude Ron is screwed. If there's one person that's royally screwed in all of this, it's Ron first. Then I do believe Monica and Jamie. So this is the next step for Vic Mignogna. He picked up a co-counsel to aid himself in this case, so that's a good thing. Now we have Lee and Toye on the same boat to help represent Vic in this case. So again, that is a good thing for Vic and Toye, but I want to get your thoughts in the comment section below about them having to bring in a co-counsel, but also seeing as to how Shane Holmberg and Dominique Sky and even Jamie Marty are taking it on Twitter and further mocking Vic for this move. Is this the right move for Percy? Is this the right move for Vic? I want to get your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you all so much for watching, guys. Once more, if you guys are new to this channel, don't forget to smash that subscribe button and turn on all notifications to never miss a single upload. Follow me on Twitter at UnrealNetwork. The link to that will be located down in the description box below if you guys have anything to tag me in or share with me. So again, twitter.com at UnrealNetwork. I'm going to close things off with some clips from Nick Rekieta's live stream that I really want you guys to sit on and think about. So we have more news coming in later today, and in particular surrounding Stephanie Nadolny, because Chris Sabat is in deep trouble. Chris Sabat is under the hot seat, but the question is, does Stephanie Nadolny along with Chuck Huber carry the silver bullet to put a dent in Chris Sabat's reign and his position of power within Funimation in doing the things that a lot of people have been saying he had been doing for many years now? So again, thank you all so much for your time. Tune back in for more, and I'll be seeing you all down in the comment section below. Take it easy, guys.
They're trying to equate Jamie Marchi with someone whose livelihood is literally in the hands of someone who demands favors or activity from them so they can feed their family or something like that. That's what they're trying to equate Jamie Marchi to. But what if true, if we take Jamie Marchi at her word, what happened? If we take Jamie Marchi at her word, being as charitable to her story as possible, what happened is this. She went to Funimation Studios. Vic went to Funimation Studios. In the lobby of Funimation Studios, Vic walked up to her, hugged her at her initiation, then ran his hand into her hair, grabbed her hair, pulled it, and whispered something into her ear, at which point she, being so afraid and intimidated and broken by this act, shoved him off with a send-off akin to "get the F off me" or something, probably. And then never did that happen to her ever again. Ever. According to Jamie Marchi. Okay? If we take her at her word, that is the event. Now, that alone, that's it. No genital grabbing, no fondling, no penetration of any orifices, no forced touching of Vic's genitals, no groping, nothing like that. A hair grab, a tug in, and whispering something. If only one that she was able to defeat with a shove. That's it. And then proceeded to be friendly with him for the next 12 years or something like that, okay? So again, I'm being fully charitable and saying it happened exactly as she said. And we're supposed to liken this or equate this to a victim, to someone whose abuser has power over them, to someone who is unable to speak out because there is a genuine fear of what will happen to them if they say a word. That's what we're supposed to believe. And typically, by the way, that genuine fear is that person will harm my children or take my children away from me. That person will beat me. That person will take away my friends and family from me. That's the fear that real victims of actually face. But we're supposed to equate one hair pulling incident with that. Okay? Because remember, that's the stunning and brave thing that Jamie Marchi did. Now, of course, if we take Vic's side of the story, she gave him a hug and he said, "Whoa, hey," and played with her hair a little bit. There's no grab, there's no pull, there's no whisper into the ear. So if we take that, I mean, the abuse looks even more ridiculous. But even if we split the baby and say it's somewhere between that, we're still nowhere near a real victim of abuse in any context. Not even in some delusion of her mind where it's, well, it's in the eye of the beholder. No. Not sexual abuse. It's just not. I'm sorry. You may say it's an inappropriate touch. You may say it's a battery that infringed on her personal space. Fine. This is not someone who is at the mercy of an offender who then cannot talk about it out of fear of retaliation. And mind you, the perpetrator was so powerful that he was undone by, according to them, mere tweets from an anonymous person on Twitter a decade removed with no solid accusation. That's just how stunningly powerful he was. But I digress. Let's move on. Why would she wait years to make her statement? And remember that Jamie's statement was how she is standing up for women and all of these blah, blah, blah. But she also states that she knew it was going on, but then she didn't know it was going on. And once she found out it was going on, even though she knew it was going on, that suddenly she had to stand up for all the people who this was happening to.